Bienvenidos. If you're one of my awesome subscribers, welcome back. Y'all, I'm due for a retie. When is my retie appointment? Oh, July 21st. I got 2.5 weeks. Oh. My hair is getting long. I want to dye it. I don't know if I should black or dye it lighter for the summer. I'm about to go to the mall with my friend. I don't know if that's going to be too much walking that I'm doing, but I'm ready to be free. I'm so ready to be out the house, but I'm probably doing more than I'm supposed to do because I also went to court this morning, and because I had a traffic violation, a failure to at the stop sign. And so I walked from there. My friend kept saying, "Are you sure where we park is not going to be too far? Are you sure you're going to be able to make it?" I'm like, "Girl, I am able to walk. I got it." So I walked from the parking on the street to the courthouse. Walked in the courthouse, of course. And then now my friend is going to get me in a little bit to go to the mall. I'm probably doing more I'm supposed to be doing. But y'all know I've been home for like 3 weeks. I had surgery June 10th. And this sitting in the house got me going crazy. So I gotta be out the house. I gotta do something. I got to get out the house. But we'll see. Hopefully I'm not hurting afterwards, because sometimes when I do too much walking afterwards. Hi, Franklin. How are you? How's it going, Franklin? What's new? You good? What are you up to today? Hi, silly salmon. Nothing much. Oh, that's good. Did you have work, school, or off, chilling day? Hi, Mini Mind Studio. How you doing? I'm doing okay. I had court this morning, y'all. I had a traffic violation, so I had to go to court. I felt like a criminal. This is my first time ever having a traffic violation that I had to go to court for. So I felt like a criminal. Like you had to go sit and explain. Am I single? No, I'm married to Jesus Christ. Are you single? The last time I had a little Kendra G thing going. So if you are single, let me know. Body count? What's your body count? Tell me. What's your body count? Email. If you're single, let me know. Let's see if we could find you somebody. We can't be asking them their body count. I don't know if they're going to want to date you with you asking stuff like that. 7? My favorite color is red. What's your favorite color? What's your favorite color? Oh, I'm reading where it said I got the thing got flagged for something. Okay. And you know what my other color is? I like yellow as well. Email. I'm gonna need you to find something to do. Find something or someone to do. You're on the wrong channel. They got a whole bunch of websites for you. A bunch of websites for you. For you and whatever you're into. But I can't help you. Yeah, Silly Salmon, tell me, what's your favorite color? Wait, have y'all ever been to court? Have any of y'all ever had a ticket? I don't get it. I don't get the prank. Hi, Alan. How are you? How's your day going? Oh, okay. It's a joke. I get you. What's up? How's it? How is it in India right now? What's the weather like? Oh, it's raining, heavy raining. Mm. Is it rain season? You know how some countries have a season where it rains a lot? Is right now rain season in India? Season is like December in Panama, if I'm correct. I'm not sure though. Anyways, I was telling y'all, yeah, it's rainy season. Okay. When is it the hottest in India? Your country is on my list for me to visit. Like, it's time that it's super hot there. I know that it's probably hot all the time, but is there a time when it's like, for us, we have summer, that it's really hot right now? Is there a season that is hotter than other seasons there? That the heat is at an all-time high? I can't wait to do my hair. I hate when my hair is due. Tighten. But the only good thing is that I've been home. So, you know, I'm not out and about and stuff. And look at my nails. My nails is I made sure I had them take off the acrylic and just do a gel manicure because I didn't know when I would be able to drive, to go get my nails done. I still can't drive until they clear. I mean, I guess I could drive. Nobody's stopping me, but I would hate to do what I want to do and God forbid get in an accident because I had to stomp on the brakes and I couldn't because um my abdomen muscles weren't ready yet, and so yeah, in the month of March and April, the summer season is at its peak. Oh, okay. Like I said, I definitely want to visit at some point. What is the top meal in India? Like the food that everybody loves, that you guys are known for? I want to travel. Like, this is the time of the year that I'm normally going on a trip somewhere, and I'm home. I'm home and I can't even drive. But hey, I can't complain. It could always be worse. I was talking to my best friend yesterday, and I was telling her the older I get, the more I feel like life is about putting out little fires every day and just trying to catch them before they turn to big fires. You know, you'll feel like, okay, let me pay my car off. You'll pay your car off, and then the next day, God forbid, you'll get in an accident and it'll be total. and then now you gotta get another vehicle or go buy a car. You will pay off a credit card. As soon as you paid off the credit card, the roof will start leaking. There's always something. Life never goes perfect. Always like this. I come to India and make a visit of northeastern state of India. It's a heaven. Okay, yeah, definitely. What's the food of choice that I should ask for when I go? Bear in mind I don't eat pork and I don't eat a lot of different seafood. I eat fish, but it has to be certain type of fish. So I don't do shrimp. I don't do scavengers basically. So what meal of choice that I should ask for? I know you guys don't eat beef, and I'm not a beef person either, so that works. But what else do you guys eat? Like, what is your thing that I can't leave India without trying? I gotta Google. We prefer veg. Our mother tongue taste. Okay, that's good. That's really good. I'm trying to work on cutting dairy, and I'm gonna try to work on cutting chicken. For those that follow my channel, I just had surgery on the 10th of June because I had fibroids. And if you look into it, fibroids grow because of increased estrogen in your body. That's what they feed off of. So, of course, dairy products have a lot of estrogen in them. So I have to work on cutting it. Then the next thing is I'm thinking to cut chicken as well. The reason why is because I feel like chicken is the most manipulated meat because every country eats it. Like some countries deal with beef. Like I just said, I know India doesn't eat beef. Um, so that's not really a thing. But chicken, every country eats chicken. And so they have to produce enough to make it go everywhere, unless you have your farm and you do your own thing, which is the healthier choice. But like here in the US, there's not a lot of farms here. So, I remember watching a documentary where they pumped the chicken much hormones so it couldn't even walk. But it's just so that they can produce more um, out of this one chicken. And so again, for a person that needs to watch my hormones going forward, because again, if you know anything about fibroids, you can have surgery and then they'll grow back. And I don't ever want to, God forbid, be back in the hospital because of fibroids again. So I have to, of course, make changes to try to keep them from growing back. One of the things that I also saw in doing my research is that vitamin D helps to shrink um, the growth of the fibroids. So I just ordered some vitamin D tablets from Amazon that's supposed to be delivered by Saturday. And then the next thing is again watching what you eat, cutting the hormones. So I am gonna try to lean towards the vegetarian slash vegan option. I'm just trying to envision what meals will look like though. I know I can go on Google or I could go on YouTube and look up ideas, but I'm a foodie, so I don't want to just make stuff and eat it just to say I'm eating. Like I want to enjoy my food. And so I'm hoping that I can find vegetarian or vegan options that are actually delicious. So I don't know. Comment below. Let me know. I'll probably be a pescatarian. I'll eat fish still. But it is. If I go somewhere that has jerk chicken, I will eat the jerk chicken because mm, I love jerk chicken. But I don't know. Other than that, I really could probably do without meat. I'm not a big meat eater, to be honest. So I don't know. We'll see. I just saw a little boy ride by my window by himself. That's why I was looking like, is this little boy outside by himself? But his big brother is behind him. But yeah, if there's any vegan or vegetarians in the chat, comment below. Give me some ideas for things that I could eat um, or make that are good. And even like to be a pescatarian, I know you can't be eating fish every day. So again, it's about mixing it up with other things, but what? I think the top things that I buy right now are fish. Every now and then I buy lamb. Every now and then I buy goat or oxtail, but they're not things that I buy all the time, because if you go to the store and you know anything about meats, you know that they're expensive. So chicken is the cheapest option, but I don't really care for chicken. I don't like cleaning chicken. I don't like peeling off the fat and the slimy stuff, that stuff. Let me tell y'all something. One time I lived in Maryland, I was cleaning chicken and it kept making me gag. And I kept thinking, like, it's all in your mind. Just season it. Once you season it up and cut up the onions and the peppers and mix it up and let it sit overnight and it's good, you're not going to feel this way. So I pushed through and I did it. Do you know the next day I got up and I was making the chicken and I made it and I went to go eat it and it tastes good, but I kept thinking about the day before when I was cleaning it, and it kept making me gag to the point where I just ended up throwing it away. And the other half of the chicken that I had seasoned, I gave it away to someone else, and they were like, "Damn, that chicken was good." I was like, I couldn't eat it, and so I went about 6 months without buying chicken again after that. Like, I would buy it out in the street, but I wouldn't cook it. I wouldn't buy it to cook at home no more because of that time that I kept feeling nauseous cleaning the chicken. I don't know. So I think I could do without chicken. However, I also do love Chick-fil-A. And I'm like a big advocate for Chick-fil-A. Like, I love Chick-fil-A. So that's the only chicken too that I feel like I'll probably eat jerk chicken and I'll eat Chick-fil-A. But then other than that, I won't eat chicken. I don't know. Decisions. Even though Chick-fil-A quality hasn't been what it used to be. Like back in the day, it was a different taste. For some reason, it tastes a little bit more processed. And I remember reading something about them changing the meat that they use. And I think they changed it for the worse. But let me tell y'all my love for Chick-fil-A, for why I love them so much. One time when I was in nursing school, I was in Maryland, and when I tell y'all, doing nursing school, I was broke, like struggling down bad because I couldn't work full time, but yet I lived like a regular life. I didn't live with no parents, no family members. Like, I was thugging it. You know, I had my rent, I had a car note, I had car insurance, light bill, gas, everything. Granted, I was married at the time, but that's a whole nother story. I was struggling. Let's leave it like that. I was married, but I was struggling. So I remember one day we had an exam, and um I had like maybe I had literally, I think it was $14 to my name in my account, literally $14. And so everybody, like my friends in our little, because you know, in school, especially in nursing school, you kind of end up making a clique because you realize, man, the only way to make it program is to kind of have a little clique, because what I don't understand, she'll understand. What she don't understand, he will understand. What he don't understand, they will understand. And so y'all all in and y'all help each other out. And so you, hopefully all of you guys pass. In any case, they were all gonna stay. In any case, they were all gonna stay to study, but I didn't have any food with me. So I was like, all right, well, what should I do? Because I only have $14. So I was like, let me go buy Chick-fil-A. I know it's gonna use really all 14 of my dollars, but at least I can stay at school to study. And this is a big exam. If I fail this exam, okay, sir. Sheesh. Wrong. Y'all keep going to the wrong channel. There's literally a whole website that is all about what y'all are looking for. Check them out. They got OnlyFans. They got. Don't make me name all of them. Y'all know how to find them. There with that. In any case, so I'm like, all right, well, I want to stay to study with my friends, because if I fail this exam, I know that I won't, like it, the way how nursing school works. This exam will be worth like 60% of your grade, literally. So if you fail this, basically you fail the class. And my program that I went to, if you failed the class, you had to wait a whole year to retake the class. So, and in me, I paid nursing school out of pocket. So on breaks, I used to work like a dog at the hospital to pay for my nursing degree out of pocket. So I couldn't afford to pay anything because I didn't have the money, like I said. I made a decision, long story short, because I'm going on a tangent. I made the decision to use the $14 to go get my Chick-fil-A so I could go back to the school and stay there and stay straight down to midnight. I go to Chick-fil-A line. I'm praying because I'm like, God, I don't even know how I'm going to get gas later on for the rest of the week. I don't know how I'm going to do half of these things because this is my last $14 to my name. I order my food and I get there to pay. And the lady goes, it's on the house. And I said, what? What you mean it's on the house? And so she was like, the person that took your order said that you were really polite. So we're giving you the meal free. It's on the house. When I tell y'all, I damn near cried in the Chick-fil-A line. Like, I know they probably was like, relax, girl. It's just Chick-fil-A. It's not that serious. But it was that serious because my $14 lived to see another day. I was like, I meal and I get to put gas in my car. So since then, I always have like a soft spot for Chick-fil-A to the point where I'm tempted to like write them and tell them my testimonial to see if I can end up being on a commercial. Y'all better not take my story neither and write Chick-fil-A and try to pass it off as your story because I'm gonna find out who it is and sue y'all if you do that. But since then it's like, whenever I see Chick-fil-A, I always have a soft spot for them. I know it was God, as I know it was God that put it on, impressed it on their heart to give me the meal free, but I'll just never forget that. So every time I go to Chick-fil-A, I think about the day that I have $14 to my name and I was deciding between gas or eating so I could stay at school. But, you know, it worked out, right? I stayed, I studied, I passed the exam, I became a nurse, and life is better. Now I got $15 to my name. It's like no. But yeah, life is like that. Always make the sacrifices, even when people don't understand or people think that you're doing a bad decision. Make the sacrifice, make it pay off. Because I remember I always used to tell myself, if I push through and I do this sacrifice in a month or 3 months, whatever the semester end, I'll be in a whole different tax bracket. I always used to tell myself that. Like no matter what was going on around me, their personal life, finances, whatever, I would always tell myself, whatever is going on, stay focused on this exam. Because if you pass this exam and you pass this program, you'll be in a whole different tax bracket by the time you finish. Versus if you let this situation or this circumstance overwhelm you to the point where you can't study, you got in your exam and now you got to work for peanuts a whole nother year again, figuring out how you're gonna find money to eat, figuring out how you're gonna find money for gas for a whole nother year again, just to get into the program, and then have to do. So for that, have tunnel vision. That's what I learned. If nothing else, at nursing school, I learned the power of having tunnel vision. I remember like the electric people will be calling me to say that they're gonna turn it off. Be like, listen, talk to me, call me back after the 16th and I'll make a deal with you. Call me back after the 16th. Like, let's say my final was the 16th. I'll be like, call me back after the 16th and I'll make an arrangement with y'all. But today, the only thing I'm about is my exam. And I used to be like that. My personal life, relationship, so much would be going on the day of exam. Because let me tell you something. Sometimes people purposely do things around a big day to try to make you get off, distracted and fall off. I used to be like, that's what you're doing? I don't care. All I care about is passing my exam. And I remember to the point where the person that I was with said to me at the end when I finished, he said, you know what? You're a really strong person because I used to do a lot of things to try to distract you so that you would fail, and it's like it would only empower you and make you stronger. And I was like, yeah, because I'm a monster. That's what we do. We grow, we get big, we don't get small. We don't get small. But oh my God, I could write a book about all that I endured in nursing school. And you know sometimes there's people that say stuff like, there's a comment that I hate the phrase must be nice. Must be nice is for people that had stuff handed to them. Don't must be nice me ever. Like, you can't tell me must be nice, because I get it out the mud. Anything you ever see me have, own, acquire, I had to get it out the mud to get it. Nobody ever was like, oh, you seem like a nice person. Mm-mm. I always get it out the mud. So I don't know. But I do believe in empowering people to do the same. And that's why when I would be working at the hospital as a CNA, I used to tell people, go to school. No matter what your situation is, there's people in the program that have the same situation. I remember being in the program with single moms that had 6 kids. They in the program. They're like, no, I know that right now I'm missing out time with my kids. When I finish, I want to give my kids a better life. There were people who ended up having to be sleeping in their car. Like, there was so many circumstances. Whatever situation or excuse that you got, there was literally somebody in the program, because I went in the inner city of Baltimore. Like, I was in the hood. I went to school in the hood. So it wasn't people that were rich, that had parents that saved up money for them to go to college. It was everybody. There were people that were working full time overnight, get off of work, come to school, they fall asleep in class trying to wake up. People that had to bring their kids to class with them. And I love to see them on Facebook. Like, when I'm on Facebook, seeing the people I went to school with, and I see them bossed up, traveling, whipping their Mercedes, buying properties, business. I'm happy for them, because I literally know a small percentage of their story, because nobody knows everybody's story. But, just seeing them coming with their kids, and seeing their kids that they used to bring to the program graduate from high school and going to college. I'm like, girl, you broke a generational curse. You have changed the whole trajectory of your family by making a sacrifice to make life better for yourself. And not just women, even I remember there was a guy that used to drive taxis. Like, he used to drive the taxi all night, drive the taxi to school. People used to be laughing, like, why are you in this taxi? He used to leave class, go drive the taxi, drive all night, because he was married and had kids. But he's like, man, I'm just trying to do more for my family. I can't do nothing but respect it. And now he's a nurse. I saw him post his house that he bought, and stuff like that. And I don't know. That's what I think life is all about. Just keep pushing. It's never going to be easy, but you just push. At least that's how I see it. I'm going to give you an example. Right now, the business that I'm in the process of building, and I need something called an irrevocable letter of credit. Mind you, a lot of people, I never even heard of this. Basically, it's like the bank saying that they're giving you a line of credit that they can't take away no matter what, right? And so some businesses, like the state requires it, because in the event that your business doesn't do well, they want to know that you have this backup money to make sure everyone is whole, whether it's your employees and students, whatever. Make sure everyone is whole before you. So they want to know that you have this 40,000 sitting down there. So in my brain, because when somebody told me about it, they said most banks require, like, let's say 10% to get this line of credit. So mine, I'm thinking $4,000 or $5,000. Okay. Every bank that I call has told me that I need to have $40,000 to give them to get this line of credit for $40,000. And I'm like, y'all must be mistaken. That's giving me a $40,000 credit card, and you telling me that to give me a $40,000 credit card, I need to give you $40,000. That doesn't make sense. Because if that was the case, why would I need the credit card? Every single bank I've called has told me it's $40,000 that I need to give them. So I was talking to my mentor about it like 2 weeks ago, and I said to her, every bank that I'm calling is saying I need to have $40,000. And she was like, wow, this would be the first state that I ever heard that requires the full amount. Normally it's just a percentage. So she goes, but you're taking it pretty well. Like, some people will be up here crying, saying that they give up, they done. And I said, no, I'm not built like that. I'm a person that I believe in the saying, by any means necessary. When I have a goal, there's something that I want to do, I sit down and I think and I pray, and I'm like, there's always a way to get it done. If other people have programs, like if other people have businesses, like what I want to do, that means they found the $40,000. So guess what I'm gonna do? Find the $40,000. Give up? That don't even cross my mind to give up. I'm just, maybe because I again been through so much. Giving up don't even in my mind. Like, I'm a person that I cry, I dry my eyes, and I'll be like, all right, so what we about to do? Give up is not an option. And so that's why I encourage y'all today, like, never give up. Even if you go to school and you can only take one class every semester, you're one class closer to being done. Let's say, for example, you got to take 20 classes to become an engineer. If every semester you take one class, once you finish one, now you got 19 left. Once you do the next one, you got 18 left. You're one class closer to being done. Versus if you don't go, you're not closer at all by not going. And I remember when I was like going to do my first degree, and people were like, "How long are you gonna be in college?" I was like, 4 years. I was like, 4 years? Oh hell no, that's too much time. The 4 years came, the 4 years went, and then they saw me and they were like, "You finished?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they were in the same situations, the same places. So I always tell people, don't look at how long it's going to take you to do something. As long as life lasts, you're going to be alive, right? So at the end of the 4 years, you either going to have a degree to show for it, to say, at least I did something with the 4 years, or you still going to be working at the Piggly Wiggly after 4 years and seeing the people that went to college or went to do whatever the goal is that finished, because the 4 years is gonna pass regardless. It's not like if time ain't gonna pass for you. As long as you're alive, the 4 years is gonna pass. So you either gonna have something to show for it, or you gonna be saying what you wish you could have did, what you could. No, get it going. Even one class at a time. I'm a big like advocate for education, because if you do it right, education can change your whole life. It could change your life, your family. I remember there was a girl I used to work with when I did patient transport, pushing the people in the beds and the stretchers and stuff in the hospital. And again, she lived in the hood in Baltimore, and she was like, my sink is on the floor, like literally on the floor in my kitchen. And I was like, what you was on the floor? And she's like, literally, my sink is on the floor. The projects that I live in, they don't care. They don't address the stuff. Maintenance don't go. I'm so frustrated because my kids can't even use the sink. And I remember I telling her, go to school. I don't care what's going on. Go to school. And she went to school. She became a respiratory therapist. And then I saw she bought a house. She bought a townhouse in Baltimore. And then the other day I saw she just became a registered nurse. And I'm like, yes. I wrote her and I'm like, yo, I'm so happy for you. Do you remember the day that we spoke and you said your sink was on the floor? That's the only way to get up out of that rut, because life or the system will have you doing this. And you got to push yourself to get up out of the rut and make a better life for your kids, for yourself. Nobody's going to give it to you. Nobody's going to give it to you, especially now. There's a lot of programs out there that used to give free money and give food stamps and give all this. Look, all of them about to be cut. All of them are cut or about to be cut. You got to save yourself. You got to grind. You got to save yourself. And there's nothing wrong with using the programs if you need it, but in my mind, is using it for a limited time to step off and do something better. If you planning to just be one of those people that live in Section 8 housing forever, it's like, it's for you to take income-based housing, and while you're there, not paying anything because you don't have to work. Once you're not working, you're living there for $0 a month. Go to school. When you finish, you become a registered nurse. Keep it moving. But there's people that just like sit in this, and I get it, because growing and making changes is uncomfortable. Grow uncomfortable. If you want to be comfortable, you're never going to grow. You're going to be in the same place 10, 20, 30 years. Sometimes when I go to some of my patients' houses or apartments, and they're like, I've lived here for 25 years. I'm looking like, 25 years? And you could see that it's not updated. 25 years you've been in this apartment? Why? Like, why? Even if you didn't want to buy a house, because I get it, some people don't want to buy a house. Why did you stay in this apartment for 25 years? But there's people that just, they're like that. They're comfortable. That's all they know. they're scared to move somewhere else and maybe they don't like it. If you don't like it, move back. I'm sure an apartment will open again for you to move back. But try. Like, I don't know. I don't understand when people don't try. I can respect failure. I don't respect not trying. But that's just me. Y'all, I'm ranting. Nobody's not even. I'd be on a rant by myself. You know why I could go on a rant about this? Because, again, it's something that I'm really passionate about. When it comes to education, I was that annoying person when I went to the hospital that used to be trying to convince everybody to go to school. And some of them went. Like the girl that her sink was on the floor, I remember I was bothering her about going to school and she went and I'm happy. But there were other people that were, girl, leave me alone. I don't want to go to school. And I was like, okay, I had to respect it and learn to let people do what works for them. One time when I was working doing patient transport, I was working with this guy and I asked him, I said, because he used to walk around and do all my tasks with me. He was like my good friend. And I said to him, if education wasn't an issue, what other job would you do in the hospital? And he thought about it. And I'm thinking he gonna come out with like surgeon, doctor, nurse, respiratory therapy, something. That man said OR transport. I was like, what? Mind you, OR transport is the same thing we doing. It's just for the OR. Like the OR transporters push the people in the bed from the PACU to their room, and we were pushing the whole hospital around. Like the as patient transport, let's say a patient had to go from the second floor to MRI, we would go get them on a bed or a stretcher in a wheelchair and bring them to MRI, or take them from MRI back to the room. Or we would get the people that were getting discharged, get a wheelchair, help them with their stuff, load them into their car. This man gonna say, he gonna stop to think and say if he could be in the world, it would be OR transport. And I was like, I gotta respect it, but I'm like, dream bigger. Come on. Like, I've never had a problem dreaming big. If anything, I think sometimes I dream too big. Sometimes some of my stuff is a little bit unrealistic. But by talking to people, I've come to realize that there's people that don't dream. Like, your dreams leave the ceiling and their dreams are right here above their head. Maybe because they've never seen people do stuff or they never did anything that empowered them to feel like they could do anything they felt like doing. I don't know. But that's never been my case. I'm the type of person, let me tell y'all, the first time I went to go look at houses, I had $20 in my account. And I know people think, when I tell my realtor, she be laughing. I might have had like 200 something, but not enough to be looking at no houses. And I went and I was looking at houses like, oh no, I don't like this. I want this. I don't want that. Because I kept knowing I'm going to find the money when it's time. Like, I know I'm going to find it. I was working like crazy, but at that time when I was looking at houses, I did not have it. And sure enough, guess what? When the time came, I put down $5,000 with my offer for my house. It just works itself out. You got to just step out in faith. Sometimes you got to like not have it figured out. Even when I decided I was going to go to for nursing, I was like, okay, this is my second degree, so I can't get grants and all of that, like what I got the first time around. All I'm going to be able to get is loans. And I was like, I don't want to get student loans for another bachelor's. Like, So I was like, every semester I'm just gonna pay for it. Every semester it would be like this. Like the day before school starts for the semester, I would write to the point where if you don't pay it today, we about to drop you. And I run in like, I'm here and pay it. Every semester, I was at the edge of my seat, like, am I gonna come up with the money? And I always put it every semester. So I don't know. Sometimes you gotta just step off in faith. You don't have all the answers. You don't have it all figured out. But just get started and it will work itself out. I don't know how, but it always works itself out. And I truly do believe that. Truly do believe it. order for my friend. I wonder what time she's coming. I'm trying to decide if I should dye my hair black or dye it a lighter brown or auburn color for the summer. Even though I feel like by the time I'm back out and about, summer is going to be looking to end. I done spent my whole summer home healing after my surgery. It is what it is, though. And now I got a big scar. I have a vertical. Like normally they try to do it horizontal, like a C-section scar underneath, all the way down on your belly, so you could wear a bikini and people won't. Mine looks like mine looks like a cane. It's like this around my belly button, and then it goes down. So yeah, there's no hiding my scar, but it is what it is. But that is why I chose the business that I'm trying to get together now is with education. Just so y'all know why, because I love it. Like I love pushing people to their life. And if you don't even want to go to school, because school isn't for everybody. So if you don't want to go to school, cool. Do trade school, start a business, be an entrepreneur. But I just feel like to do the rat race thing of life, wake up, go to somebody's job, have them pay you peanuts, wake up, go to somebody's job for the next 40, 50 years of your life. Like, I just don't see that for me. Because one thing I realize is no job is ever going to really pay you what you're worth. That's how business works. And anytime, even as a registered nurse now, anytime that a job has offered me something that my hourly whatever, no matter how high it seems, I always think if they're willing to offer me this, I wonder how much they're getting. And you got to always think about that. If a job is willing to offer you $70 an hour, they must be making like 200 an hour. You know, like they gotta be, because they're not gonna lose. That's not how business works. They're not making 80 giving you 70. So if they're offering you 70s because they're making 200 without even touching a patient or seeing them, that's how business works. So that's what made me say, no, I need to start some type of business. So ultimately, you know, and I love my job. Don't get me wrong. I love what I do. I love the company that I work for. They're pretty awesome. But I know that they're not paying me all the money they make, because that's not business. And I think a lot of times, like, you know, I'm from a Caribbean background. I don't even think it's Caribbean. I think Caribbeans, Americans have this, like, you don't have to like your job. Wake up and do it. You do what you got to do. A lot of times my mother used to have that conversation with me, like, a job is not for you to like. You got to just wake up and do it. Who cares if you like it or not? And I'm like, that's not my life. Like, I can't wake up and do something or be somewhere I hate every day just because I'm waiting for them to give me my paycheck. So I used to quit. I'll be like, I quit. And she'll be like, again? I'll be like, yeah, I quit again, because I gotta be happy. Like, I'm not saying that every day is gonna be candy corns. Yeah, candy corns and rainbows and unicorns. But overall, I come home every day from somewhere and feel defeated or deflated or like crap or crying and dragging myself to go there. Life is too short. Life is too short for me to wake up every day, 5 days at least, or at max out of the week, 8 hours my day to be somewhere I don't want to be. There's more to life. There's more to life. But, you know, Caribbeans are like, who cares what you like? Get your check, you take it, you feed your family, you do it, repeat for 40 years till you retire, you get your pension, and now that's your chance to live. But the problem is, at that time, Sometimes people can't walk good no more, so they can't even travel the way how they thought they was going to travel. Or sometimes, God forbid, they have cancer afterwards, so they home getting chemo. Like, you gotta enjoy life. Now you can't be like, oh, I'm gonna postpone it and I'm just gonna work this little job. And I get it though that when you have kids, it is a little different, right? I don't have kids, so I am able to kind of maybe take a little bit more leaps of faith than other people that have kids that counting on them. So I understand that, but I just don't see that for me. I couldn't see myself wake up and hate something every day. No. I'm hungry, y'all. But I'm trying to wait till I go to the mall so I could buy something to eat. Because I think they got Chick-fil-A at the mall. I know that I'm not going to eat chicken no more. You see how short-lived that is? We get to the mall and be like, yes, let me get the spicy deluxe. No cheese, no pickles, large fry, chocolate chip cookie. I get to sing every time too from Chick-fil-A. I just started incorporating the nuggets, but I normally always used to just get the spicy deluxe. We are in July already, y'all. We have more than halfway through the year. Can't believe it. During my time home, I have made lists. Like every morning I wake up and I make a list of things, or sometimes I do it the evening before, of things that I have to work on or do. Because in this 4 to 6 weeks that I'm off from work, I don't want that when I go back to work, I didn't do any of the things that I've been wanting to do, but I didn't have the time when I was busy work. So if it's phone calls that require me to be on hold for a long time, I do those. Work on my curriculum for my business. I just try to always do things. I probably should be doing more, but it is what it is. Doing the best I can. Why isn't this working? Y'all, I need another website. My first website, my friend did it for me for free, and I'm very grateful. But I need another website, and somebody said that they could do it for, first she said $700 something, and I'm like, is that how much a website costs? $700 something? I don't see me paying that. And then she lowered it down to $450. And I can't, maybe, y'all know I'm cheap though. So let me know. Is $450 a good amount for a website? And it might be, because again, I'm not a computer savvy person, so I don't know what it entails to make a website. But let me know. That's just not my thing. I did order 2 books from Amazon. I want to start a book club, y'all. Hopefully some of y'all will join a book club with me. So one of the books is Think and Grow Rich. The other one is The 4-Hour Work Week. So I have these 2 books coming from Amazon that I want to read both of them through before I go back to work, in possibly 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah, it says it arrives on Saturday. Let me tell y'all something. You know what I took for granted is being able to jump in my car and go where I want to go. Since June 9th, I had my surgery June 10th. So like I told y'all, I haven't been able to drive. You hear my stomach grumbling? It's because I'm hungry. I haven't been able to drive since June 10th. And even like to go to the grocery store and stuff, or even today when I had to go to court, just to stop and think, who can I bother? Who's off from work? Who could pick me up?